How's it going, everyone? So just like the title says, I was accepted to a medical school. When I started this channel like a month ago, I was just praying that I'd be able to make a video like this. So this actually happened like a week ago. I was like getting ready for work and I was about to walk out the door and I got a call from the admissions dean of one of the schools I interviewed at, I think a few weeks ago. And they were like, hey, like we really liked your interview and we want to offer you a seat with our class of 2024. And I didn't even know what to say. I was like, oh yes, like thank you, thank you, thank you. I kind of just like word vomited and I was basically just thanking them like 1.5 million times, and then I hung up and my two of my roommates were here and I was just like, I just got accepted to medical school and it was just like the most random thing. Over the past week I've been asked like so many times like how do you feel, like what's going through your head right now, and like I am stoked. I am so ecstatic. This is like one of the biggest accomplishments I've ever had in life. But honestly, the number one emotion that I feel is just like relief. Just the feeling of knowing what my future is gonna be now. It is the best feeling ever. If you're on a pre-med path and you have been grinding through and you want to go to med school, then you know that like every single time someone asks you what you want to do with your future, what you're planning on doing, you just keep saying, oh, I hope I go to med school. I'm trying to go to med school, or I'm going to apply to go to med school and hopefully become a doctor one day. But there's never a like I'm going to become a doctor. I'm going to med school. Like it's always kind of like a I'm trying to, I'm hoping to. But now I get to tell people like, oh yeah, I'm starting med school next year. And that's just like the best feeling ever. Like it is the weirdest thing to be able to say, and it kind of just happened like within like one phone call. I went from telling people, oh, I'm trying to become a doctor, I'm trying to go to medical school, to I start medical school next year, and it is just so weird, but at the same time, just the best feeling ever. It's the feeling you're hoping to get the entire time you're pre-med and trying to do this, and I am just so stoked about it. So I'm actually not going to announce what school I got into just yet. If you're curious, just send me a message here on Instagram, and the reason for that is I still have a few interviews I want to go on, and so I don't want to make a final decision on school. I've accepted my seat for this school, just for the sake of making sure I have a place to go to next year. But I still have a few interviews I want to go on. I still have a couple schools I'm waiting to hear back from. That way I can kind of have some options. But then hopefully in December-ish, I'll be able to make my final decision on school. And then I'll make another video specifically about which school I get accepted into. Also, I feel like I should briefly talk about how I ended up here in the first place. So a few years ago, back when I first started undergrad, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And like the idea of medicine kind of came up, but I was kind of discouraged from it. I was a very B-average student. I actually failed a 5-credit class, like straight F. And so I even talked to an advisor at one point, and he was like, you're gonna have to change a lot about yourself if you're gonna want to get into med school one day. And I just really did not like that feeling of being told I couldn't do something because of like how my grades were, kind of like the kind of student I was. And so I actually ended up dropping the entire idea of applying to medical school, spent like the next like 2 or 3 years like completely geared towards doing physical therapy because I really liked physical therapy. I did a lot of shadowing. I was even like the vice president of a pre-physical therapy club. And I really like physical therapy, but I knew in the back of my mind that I just was like, I kind of had gone over to my second option and kind of just dropped the first one because I didn't think I was smart enough. And as I was about to like get ready to apply for physical therapy schools, I think I was like a semester away and I just finished Gen Chem 2, and I would have like been done with chemistry by not going on to OChem. And that's kind of when it started to hit me that like, if I don't take OChem, then I for sure have like decided not to do pre-med or, apply to medical school. I lost a lot of sleep over it, and in the path of pursuing physical therapy, I had become a much better student. I had done really well in all my classes, and it's just like I hated the idea that I put that much effort into doing physical therapy, but by being discouraged from doing medical, I didn't put that kind of effort that I could have, and I could have been in a really competitive position had I had that same commitment. And that's what really started to like keep me up at night, was like thoughts like that. And I have kind of like this like philosophy that I kind of stand by, that we're all going to be 35 one day, and at 35 I could either be a practicing physical therapist and have gone that with my second choice, or I could have gone to medical school, finished residency, and become a practicing physician and still been 35. And I basically just didn't want to be 35 one day and kind of regretting it and wishing, man, if I had just put in that effort years and years ago, I would be in a very different position now. And so that kind of thought also is kind of what motivated me to go down this path. And then I had a friend who was like, hey man, just do pre-med, like do the pre-med requirements, go through it, take the MCAT, like nail OChem, like do everything right, and then get accepted into med school, and then decide like, was I happy that I had gone down that path, or then be like, I really like physical therapy, I'm gonna do physical therapy. And now sitting here in my position where I've now just been accepted to medical school, I'm very happy that I went down that path. And if you can take anything away from this video, it's like, seek a little bit of discomfort, step outside of your comfort zone. If you feel like you're going to regret something in like 10, 20 years, like really reflect on it and make sure that you explore all your options and don't end up regretting it one day because you didn't do something that you were afraid to do. And because I went ahead and decided to do something that I was afraid to do, I'm now sitting in a position where I know I'm going to start medical school next year. And so if you take away anything from this video, like, take that advice away. When I first like went down this path, I was terrified. Everyone made it seem like the hardest thing ever, and it's hard, and I'm not gonna like deny that, but I do want to show the people that it's really doable, and you don't have to be this like crazy like applicant or like the smartest person in the entire world, because I consider myself a very average applicant, but I knew where my strengths were, and I knew that if I just worked really hard, I could apply and get accepted. And that's what I want to share, and that's what I want to kind of show throughout this YouTube series is like why it's not as scary as everyone says it is, and kind of like how you can make your life a lot easier along the way. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe for more pre-med videos, medical school applicant videos, and eventually medical student videos. Feel free to DM me here or on my Instagram if you guys have any specific questions, or comment below and I'll definitely get back to them. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time.